This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV.
This isn't about last night or what happened after dark. This is about the middle of the day moments where something small turns nuclear before you even finish your coffee.
One sentence, one reaction, one emotional spark, and suddenly the whole situation is on fire. Welcome to Freak Out Friday on Ask a Bee, because this one didn't just escalate, it got out of hand real fast.
Boss be rising, BBTV's igniting, turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel road to the neon dream, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss be rising, sky ain't even the ceiling when she hits go live, everybody feels it.
All right, here we are. Welcome in, everybody. Happy noon and welcome back to Ask a Bee. Real quick before we jump into today's story, yes, we made a little switch. What used to be Circle Back Friday is now officially Freak Out Friday, because lately these are the situations that blow up the fastest and they spiral the hardest and leave people standing there afterwards going, what? Wait, how did we even get here? Some Ask a Bee heart. That's what we got. Some real life relationship puzzles. Just now, we're focusing on the moments where everything went sideways in public, in group chats, in families, and in relationships. And we slow it all down together, okay? And if you're new here, here's how this works. This is not a courtroom. This is not a dog pot. And we don't use real names. I transform details, I remix scenarios, and I protect privacy like it's my job, because it is. Because the goal isn't exposing people, okay? It's understanding behavior. What happened, why it escalated, why lines got crossed, and what could have been handled differently before the whole thing, detonated, really. So today, we're doing something I really love. I've started this recently. It's still fresh, but it's getting some really good feedback. So honestly, this has been working so well lately. I'm into it, because as we go through the AITA stories, AITH stories, those stories, okay? I'm going to stop, riff a little on the short chunks, because you know what? I got opinions too, and I want to hear y'all's. So I'm going to take these little short breaks because I want you to tell me what you're thinking already. Even right after the title, I want to know what you're thinking. So y'all tell me in the chat and we'll talk about this, okay? We can make this show longer if you guys will just come in and give me a little tap in the comments, hit that like button. That would be so greatly appreciated. And subscribe if you like these stories, because who doesn't like Am I the A-hole stories, right? Okay. We don't have flags here, even though I love Dustin Pointer and his show. He is amazing. We don't do craziness with relationships all that much here, because, Charlotte Dara, those are my two favorites on here. And I'm just going to put that out there. Here's the thing. I have honey and stingers. This is BBTV. I am Boss B. So we got to stick with the hive, right? All right. So we're going to decide together whether each moment feels more like honey, meaning empathy, understandable reaction, human nerves, or you get the stinger, meaning escalation, bad framing, boundary crossing, or just plain throwing gasoline on something that was already burning. Listen, I want you in the comments while we do it, okay? Tell me what you're seeing. Are you leaning towards honey? Are you leaning towards stinger? And look, I'm going to give you an idea what that's all about, because here you go with some honey. And we have a couple. We do a few here. We don't, one is better than the other. We know this. There's some stingers going on here. I love my bumblebee. All right. And we got a little fire, because today I think we're about fire. So just let me know. Did it start one way and flip halfway through? Because the real fun is watching where chat agrees and where we split. And I'll tell you right now, Am I the Eight Hole has been one of the best things I could have tried for this show. And yes, I'm going to be selfish about this. It's fun. Okay. It's fun because not because I'm laughing at what's going on or the people that it's happening to. Okay. Because we are looking at real world issues that we can just dissect and fix ourselves. Okay. Because everybody has issues, right? So maybe sharing these will help. These stories are built for conversation, right? They're built for nuance. They're perfect for Freak Out Friday because almost nobody wakes up planning to implode their friend group, right? And yet, here we are. Honestly, the days when we've been doing this together, when y'all are talking back to me in the comments, popping in with your takes, saying hi, staying through the whole thing. Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's about clicks, likes, views, all that stuff. Of course it is. I'm on YouTube. I'm not going to deny that, but I am going to tell you this. I am having so much fun with this, and I want y'all to come have fun with me because I need more comments. You know, I need y'all to tell me what you're thinking about this. Plain and simple. It's fun, y'all. It's fun to be in the middle of a conversation that takes you in a place where you know you have common ground, right? That's been some of my favorite energy here lately. Okay. Yesterday was such a good day. We had folks hanging out, riding the whole hour with me. And that's exactly what this space is supposed to feel like. So if you're watching live, say hey in the chat, please. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Grab your coffee, your lunch, whatever you've got at noon today. It's noon for me in Central Time. And yes, I'm in Texas. And yes, I'm dealing with weather. If I cut out, it's not the weather probably yet, but that happens tonight. 808 Rivals, hello, how are you? Happy to have you. Thank you for being here. So, okay, y'all get comfortable because this one really escalates fast, okay? Accusations get thrown, group chats explode, people block each other, and suddenly everybody's asking the question we love around here, am I wrong? Or did this situation get out of hand real quick? All right, let's get into this one. I'm so excited for this one because I want to hear what y'all got to say. I'm not playing. I want to hear it. Y'all light up that chat room. All righty. Let's start with our title. Am I the a-hole for freaking out at my friends after they implied my husband was a predator? Ouch. Whoa. Okay, y'all. Let's get into this one. You already know the theme here. Okay, let me get my coffee first. That right there gets honey. All righty. Here we go. I, 27 female, and my husband, 29 male, have been together 10 years and married for 6 of those. He's the love of my life. When we got together, he moved in with me and my family because I lived with my parents at the time in a very expensive city. Okay, sacrifice already, right? When accusations hit at the core of your marriage, your reaction is less about debate and more about survival instinct. That kind of language doesn't land neutrally. It reframes everything in the room. You know it does, whether people mean it to or not. What matters next is whether anyone slowed down to clarify or if everyone doubled down once emotion spiked. All righty, here we go. Okay, now then, I have 3 younger siblings, 16 female, 14 male, and 12 female. For all their 14th birthdays, I've always said I would take them on a trip. We took my sister on a trip for her 14th birthday, and now at the end of this month, we are taking my little brother. Aren't you awesome? Do you need another sister? Sorry. My husband and my brother get along better than anyone. That's beautiful. Neither of them have a brother. Okay. My husband has a sister, and my brother is the only boy out of 6 of us. Woo! I got one of those. a brother out of 6, that is. So they gravitate towards each other, and it's incredibly sweet to see. It's like they were meant to be brothers. Okay, the dynamic reads as chosen family energy, mutual recognition, not secrecy, right? When adults show up consistently and openly around kids, that usually signals safety, not something hidden. What complicates things is how easily outsiders can project suspicion onto affection when they don't understand the history. So here we go. We're going to give some honey already because, this healthy bonding, visible closeness, long-term consistency, y'all. Come on. It's amazing, right? Okay, honey for that one. All righty. Last night, I was hanging out with a few of my friends and I was talking about how we are planning on taking my brother on a trip. And I joked about how I would be the third wheel the entire time because they get along so well. Few of my friends laughed, but one of them gave me a weird look. Ruh-roh. She said that sounded really weird and inappropriate if my husband is giving my younger brother more attention than me. What? I said, no, it wasn't like that at all. They just get along well, and it was a joke. Okay. I got nothing wrong with that. That friend didn't just clock the joke. She immediately reframed it in a what manner? Oh my, a competitive manner too, which is the sharp pivot. Okay. It starts from here. Let me just put that out there. It starts from here. When someone jumps there that fast, it changes the temperature of the whole conversation. What matters is whether she was fishing for clarification or planting a narrative. So, little friend, you get a stinger, honey. You get a stinger. A little fire. You get a stinger. Wow. Okay. I already don't like this ish. Okay. Whew, okay. Let me get back over here. So said friend then said it was inappropriate that my almost 30-year-old husband is so close with my brother, who is a minor, and said she wouldn't be surprised if it was like a grooming situation and I'm blind to it. Oh, this is why I did this. Okay. I'm just going to say this. This is why I did this. That's my what the fork move. Okay. That crosses from discomfort into a loaded accusation, especially when it's framed as something you're supposedly ignoring. Okay. Dropping a word like that rewrites the whole relationship in one stroke and forces you into defense mode. Oh, more stingers here for you, lady. The key question now is whether anyone paused to gather facts or whether she doubled down once the room tightened. Oh, that's like nuclear language. Okay. Reputation threat, forced escalation, big stinger, big stinger, big stinger. Okay. I freaked the fork out. Yes, I covered that with a subscribe now. So I remember to tell you, subscribe now. I freaked the fork out, not gonna lie. I yelled at, yes, I liked saying it a second time. I yelled at her, how dare she imply anything like that about my husband, who she has met and gets along with. And she's the pervert if she thinks my husband, who was the only boy bonding with my younger brother, who is the only boy, is inappropriate. I left then and went home. And since then, the group chat has been blowing up with people taking sides, either agreeing that it is kind of weird and others saying she was way out of line and needs to get over herself. Well, that's for sure. Okay, once a word like that, just that one word, is dropped, most people stop debating and start protecting. So the volume spike isn't surprising, is it? At the same time, calling someone pervert back turns turns the spotlight from the accusation to the explosion. Big time explosion, right? We're talking nuclear. So group chats love escalation, okay? Because nobody has to de-escalate in real time. More stingers, counterattack, spiral, public pile-on, conflict spread. Oh, my goodness. So I haven't told my husband because I don't want him to feel weird, but I'm starting to feel bad about how I handled it and thinking I overreacted and should have just left. Am I the a-hole? Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. We're going to have a lot to talk about this one, okay? Because, yeah, no. So that aftershock guilt is familiar. Once the adrenaline burns off, your brain stops replaying the accusations and starts replaying your own tone, your volume, your exit. That doesn't mean your instinct to defend was wrong. It means you're wired for reflection after conflict, not just combat. Look, there's a psychological gap between protecting someone you love and wishing the moment had unfolded with more control. And most people live right in that space afterwards, wondering whether they should have shut things down without torching the whole room. What complicates it's the silence with your husband. I can't agree with what you did. You got to tell him. Okay, you got to tell him. Hello, Y2K Golden. Good to have you. Thank you for being here. So holding that back, it can feel protective, but it can also start turning into a secret you're carrying alone. And secrets have weight, right? You're not just asking whether you overreacted. You're asking whether your reaction created new damage. You now have to manage, and socially and emotionally. That's a very different question than whether the accusation itself was outrageous. And that tension between loyalty, reputation, friendships, and your own composure is where Freak Out Friday really lives. So before we can talk verdicts, there's a pause here that matters. What do repair boundaries or distance look like after something detonates like this? Because, at that moment, right after the explosion, the part where everyone starts texting and talking sides and you're sitting alone wondering if you should have just walked out quietly. Yeah, that's usually where the real consequences start stacking. Let's hold right there for a beat, okay? Because I'm already having issues with dogs and stuff, but because this is the point in the story where people decide what kind of fallout they're willing to live with before we move into the next part. I just want to say this is honey to me. Post-conflict reflection, loyalty, tension, repair, instinct. That's honey because I think she recognized everything that she needed to. And in that moment, right? I mean, I don't agree with her not telling her husband. Okay. I just don't agree with that. You need to tell him right now. It's important. It's about him. And it is a very bad accusation, right? So talk to him. You got to tell him about this, right? You got to tell him. You just got to. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But you got to. There's no question about this because think about this. It's going to devastate him either way. If you tell him and work through it with him, knowing full well that he's not who they're trying to say he is, that not only shows strength in your relationship, but it also shows strength in your ability to handle the good and the bad, because that's what you got married with, right? For better or for worse. Okay. I'm not saying he's that. It sounds to me like your husband, and you know what? I completely agree. After 10 years, you would know your husband. So You know, I agree with your argument. I'm not sure if I agree with everything that you've said or how you've handled it. I think maybe I probably would have handled it differently, because I'll tell you this right now, I'd have jumped for her. Don't you dare say something like that in public about anybody I love, because that ain't right. I'm, what is it? Fafa? Fork around and find out? Yeah, I have a temper when it comes to things I love, and I'm okay with that. So, not saying I'd hurt anybody, because that's not what we do here. We don't talk about hurting people. What we do here, though, is talk about these situations. So when if this ever comes up in our own lives, all we have to do is say, okay, I know somebody that handled it like this. Maybe I should think about that. That's all we're here to do. I'm not trying to make everything perfect for anybody. Now, listen, that's not the end of the story, but I am going to take a quick break for the dogs, for myself, and for this amazing song. So y'all don't miss this, okay? I'll be right back.
She came from the quiet storms, built a fire from the ground, turned a whisper to a warning. Now her voice shakes the town. Every setback was a lesson, every doubt became a key, unlocking something bigger. That's the rise of Boss B. When the lights go low, her vision hits high. She built a whole damn network off a promise and a try. Every sunrise, every moment, she's stacking legacy. This ain't just a channel, this is BBTV. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dreams, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's the queen of the comeback, the storm in the stream, crafting stories out of heartbeats, making visions out of dreams. Got thunder in the hustle, got a voice that cuts clean. Every mic she touches turns the power unseen. So let further spin the numbers, let the views rise slow or fast. Boss B doesn't measure wins by echoes of the past. This moment is a pivot, this season's history. Bow down to the founder of the BBTV dynasty. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dreams, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. She's got fire in the head, it's got truth in the frame, got a heart that won't retire and a gift you can't name. Every loop, every letter, every dream she sets free, it's a love note to the world sign. Boss B. And the world keeps watching as the numbers climb, but she's counting all the moments, not the dollar signs. From the late night grind to the daylight scene, she's building something bigger than the algorithm's dream. Boss B rising, BBTV shining, her story's rewriting, a legacy in real time. Boss B rising, BBTV's igniting. Turn the volume up, yeah, the whole world's invited. From the gravel roads to the neon dreams, she built an empire out of broken wings. Boss B rising, sky ain't even the ceiling. When she hits go live, everybody feels it. BBTV, where the stories breathe. BBTV, where the dreamers believe. Boss B rising, watch her take her place. This is BBTV. This is her grace.
Join Boss B for Ask a Bee Monday through Friday, 12 noon Central Standard Time and Jukebox Journey every Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, we are back. Sorry, that probably is the internet. Okay, so we do have more to the story. Like I said, there's a little bit here that we got kind of a couple of updates first, but this story was kind of short, even though it was quite detailed. But yeah, there's a little bit of updates, and then I pulled out some comments that I thought were absolutely perfect for commenting. These people made me proud to know that there are humans out there, okay? So, all right, we're going to start here. This was some points that she edited into that she wanted to make. I mean, can you blame her? Probably not. So, let's see here. Oh, where am I at now? Sorry. uh Maybe this. Nope, that's not the one. I thought I fixed this, and of course I didn't. This is not it either. Oh, okay. I'm just going to read this one to you. I'll get back into it in a second. So she says, this got way more traction than I had ever anticipated. So, oh, I think I remember where this one is. It's way up here. So I'm going to make some points. All right. Making some points. That one. Okay, here we go. Sorry. I wanted to make sure I have it up here for you because, yeah, subscribe. So I know my husband better than I know anyone else. He is an all-around good person. I refuse to keep on an open mind about my husband being a predator. The father of my children, okay? He has never given me any reason to even think about raising an eyebrow at any interaction he has ever had with any minor. Some people are just evil short starters. Sorry, I missed that one. Who thrive off drama no matter the avenue. Shut the fork up. I see I didn't miss that one. Subscribe. Shut the fork up. Every time you hear me say fork, subscribe. About grooming statistics. I know, I get it. I've been there. Shut up. Okay. There are a lot of other comments that were there, and these were from her as well. I just want to preface this one a little bit. Hello, Rocket. Thank you for being here. Okay, so this is her drawing, I think, a hard perimeter around her. Okay. And around her marriage. No hypotheticals, no debate club, no just asking questions. You can hear how personally invasive these moments felt, not just critical, but destabilizing. What's interesting is how certainty and rage start living in the same sentence, which usually means the wound is still fresh. So I can understand her aggression on that part, right? What am I doing? Hey, Rocket, I am doing a show about AITA. Am I the a-hole? And I'm trying very hard not to use the curse words that they use, so you'll have to forgive me. Thank you for asking, and thank you for chatting. I appreciate that very much. You know, it helps me, and hey, I like it. So I'm going to put up, I think we have to have a stinger for this one. Okay? Because, I mean, help me out here, Bumblebee. Or Bumble Boss Bee, that's what that is. Stinger, definitely. Defensive wall here. There's zero tolerance line. All right. Emotional overload. I get it. I get it. And you know what? You deserve that moment, honey. You deserve that moment. Because come on. It's hard enough to have to deal with one person and then have all these people pile on top too. And you don't really know, right? You don't really know. So I have another update, and it says I did tell him because I wanted him to, one, know why I was so pissed off all day. Understandable. Two, hear it from me in case it becomes a bigger thing. He was obviously hurt. I told him he did nothing wrong and that it was her who was nasty. Amen, sis. Thank you. Thank you for being that, because you needed to do that already. So I ended up sending a text in the group chat and blocking everyone who made a case in defense of her. Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. I refuse to allow some, oh, yeah, that's another subscribe. That's not the word fork, though, y'all. I'm going to say stupid person, okay, ruin a beautiful friendship between soul brothers. Hey, good for you, honey. That's some honey. That's some honey. Telling him shifts this from private blow up into a shared front, which changes the stakes for everyone involved. Okay. Blocking people is a fast way to regain control when you feel attacked, but it also locks the story in before anyone can cool off. There's a line between protecting your family and burning every bridge around the accusation. So, I mean, you get a stinger for not telling him, but I'll give you some honey too for finally doing that. Circle the wagons, move, scorched earth boundaries, escalation, lock in. It didn't help matters not telling him. All right. It just didn't help. Okay. So now we're going to move into the comments because honestly, I like this one. I liked all these actually. And there were some on there. There's one on there that was rather long, and I'm happy with it. I'm absolutely happy with it. So let's see here. I think, oh, here it is. All right. So, oh, pardon me. Okay. Not the a-hole. My mom always said, my dad married her for her brothers. She had 5 younger siblings, and dad treated them all like siblings, fishing, hunting, and etc. Okay, here we go. Okay. That comment is trying to normalize the dynamic by pointing to another family where closeness with siblings wasn't suspicious at all. It reframes affection as ordinary, not exceptional. What's subtle is how examples like this can calm panic. It would for me, or even harden someone who already feels attacked. So for this comment, we get some honey. Y'all, we get some honey for this one. Thank you for sending that in. I know you probably won't ever see this, but you get some honey because that was normalization, right? Reassurance attempt, counterweight story. It was a light in a frame of darkness. Let's put it that way. Okay. A light in a frame of darkness, plain and simple. And that's a good thing to be. It's a good thing to have. So, all right. Darn it. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with these now. I fixed them. I swear I fixed them. I think it's this one. Let me see here. All right. So my partner's brother and I adopted each other as brothers. We were instant buddies. And over the years, he has become one of my best friends. He lives a couple of hours away and he always sees me when he is in town, but not always her. Him soon becoming my official brother is a big bonus to marrying my dream woman. He's also a couple of years older than me, but the spirit still stands. It's amazing to be joining a family that feels like family, and nurturing and cherishing those relationships is worthwhile. Amen, my friend. Honey for you. Honey for you. This one leans hard into chosen family, and that's a good logic. Marriage expanding the circle, not shrinking it. It frames closeness as something to celebrate, not scrutinize. The interesting tension is whether stories like this open space for nuance or just reinforce how entrenched everyone already is. So yeah, you're definitely going to have some honey for this one, because you expanded the frame for family, right? Affirmation, all that stuff, that wonderful stuff, relational safety signals, right? I mean, that's amazing, and thank you for doing that. I think that needed to be said. You need to tell people your story so that when you tell people your story, it's organic. They feel like they know you after the story. And no, they don't know you. Okay. No, it doesn't automatically mean that they understand you either, but they've got a piece of your story. And it's okay to share a piece of your story with others. You should share a piece of your story with others, because seriously, it's like, maybe if somebody knew a little bit more about you, they wouldn't judge you by the way you look. That's the biggest problem in this world. People need to stop judging people so much by their cover. Now, I can walk up to any door looking like I am right now, any door in my neighborhood, and I'm okay. They don't think that I live in the neighborhood, but they don't look at me sideways or nothing. If I go 2 miles to, I don't know, the east of me, or whichever way the other city is, it's very close. I'm on the line, but I can go over there probably a mile away and I can knock on somebody's door and they will look at me like I just darkened their doorstep. Okay. People need to stop doing things like that. You don't know my story. I could be there returning something of yours that I found at the grocery store, or just, and that's happened before. I've had that happen before. And then once I handed them what I found, which it was the ID, and I was driving, so it looked like that somebody had put that ID in the bag that I had grabbed. She may have dropped it in there by accident because we were doing self, and I got in there as quick as I could because there were so many behind me. And she was okay with it. We were fine. We didn't say much to each other, but I think she accidentally dropped it in one of my bags or something. And of course, they had her address. And of course, she'd already seen my face. And so I thought, I'll just take it to her. That was the wrong move. I should have just mailed it to her, because she looked at me like I was white trash walking up her doorstep. And I was like, here, you dropped this in my bag. I've been looking for that everywhere. I said, well, I found it for you. Here it is. And then she looked at me again and she just shut her door. She didn't say thank you. What? Come on, y'all. We got to be better. We got to be better. Okay. Now, let's see here. I think it might be this one. Nope. I don't know why these are all out of order, but they are. So maybe that one. Nope. I give up. Okay, so we got another comment. Maybe it's this one. No, it's not. I just did that one, didn't I? It's gotta be like, y'all, I'm not having a good day. Just this weather, and I got some bad news yesterday or last night that really has walked me out. So yeah, I don't know what's going on here. That is not it either. I will get it. I will find it. It will happen. I know it will. No, no, no. Maybe not today. Y'all, I just, you know what? I give up. I give up. Nope, that's not the one either. All right, I'm just going to read it. Have a much younger brother. He and my husband are tight. My husband is 25 years older, but they have a shared love of music and board games. My brother had his first child 2 years ago, and have almost 17-year-old. So there has been a lot of dad bonding lately. My teenage son is also in love with his baby cousin, who is a little girl. I think I just remembered which one that was. Sorry. Nope, that's not it either. Whatever. That baby is obsessed with him. LOL. He is the one she runs to for everything. When grandpa is chasing her, she runs to him. It's gotta be that one. Nope. I don't understand why. Okay, she only wants to him to carry her if he is around. I know I'm messing this up. Sorry. This one is stacking examples to show how ordinary cross-generation bonding can look when it's healthy in public. It pushes back against suspicion by highlighting visibility, routine, and family context, right? So it makes it look better. And I applaud you for giving us that story, because sometimes people can get ugly and go back at you. So, honey, for normalizing through patterns. Seriously. Visible affection, innocence, defense. I love your story. I absolutely love your story. Okay, number 2. Now, here it is. I'm on track again. So, third comment. I had a big cousin like that. It started because I was sickly and had a scary father. Pardon me, I should have said this. This is actually a comment that was from the story I just read you. That was a comment on the whole story itself. And let's see, I was sickly and had a scary father who wouldn't let them ignore my bad lungs. And so was guaranteed a bed during family events while all the healthy kids had to fight it out or sleep on the floor. Okay. My cousin Jim was 11 years older than me and quickly figured out if he claimed I wanted him to sleep with me or I'd had a nightmare, which wasn't always a lie, and he needed to stay with me, he got the bed too. Okay. I mean, that's typical kids, right? No, it's not. This kid is great. Okay. And wait till we get into this story just a little bit more, because you're going to love this kid. I'm going to be honest. Some of this sounds a little iffy. And there may be some people out there that think, oh, that's a no-go. Well, let me tell you something. Things are a lot different now than they used to be. Okay. And keep that in mind. So this one to me introduces tenderness and caretaking without fear attached. Sorry, not sorry. It reminds people that closeness can come from protection, illness, or simple logistics, not hidden motives. The risk is that soft stories can feel persuasive emotionally, even when the original conflict was changed or charged and ugly, right? Honey, caregiving bond here, innocent framing, emotional counterweight. This one's perfect. I think that's awesome. So, all right, we're still moving through this one. It's a long one. There's sections here. Add to that the fact that he was a bit baby crazy, and my mom was the first aunt or uncle who let him spend time with her baby, because boys don't like babies, don't you know? I like the energy in this one. And we were inseparable. He changed my diapers when my mom was recovering from birth. He stayed with mom and dad for the first few years or few weeks of my life since I was born during his summer break. He learned how to dress me properly for the weather. My second word was Emmy, my best attempt at his name. And he would hold me in his lap and read to me whatever young adult novel he was reading, because my dad told him babies like being read to, but didn't specify what exactly a baby should be read. Times are different, y'all. Don't judge. Apparently, I liked the Hardy Boys. See, times are different, y'all. Hardy Boys was not that bad. Okay. So this keeps the layering normal, right? Visible caretaking until it feels almost mundane. This kid learned how to be a good dad. That's what happened. That's all that happened. Diapers, reading, summer visits, everyone watching. It's pushing against the idea that affection automatically equals danger by showing how embedded the behavior was in family life. What it doesn't resolve is whether public warmth always protects people from private misreadings later on, though. That's why I say times were different, y'all. Okay. Honey. He gets honey. I don't care. He gets honey. Long-term caretaking, family oversight, innocence narrative here. Okay. This guy is so cool. I like this. And you know what? I had a cousin like that kind of too. My mother and father divorced when I was 4 years old. My mother and I lived with my grandmother most of my life, if I wasn't living with my grandmother myself. But I had a cousin, Larry, and he's moved in a very different direction, and I still love him deeply. It's just not a direction I can follow, and I know he understands that. I miss him. It's a hard dynamic because I call him brother cuz. That's what it was. He took care of me when I was younger. When I was in school, you know, if anybody bothered me, he was there to protect me. If somebody come up to me in school and was even the least bit aggressive, he was there to protect me. We went to school together. We did everything together. I mean, we even beat each other's butts, you know? We had fights like that. We were more brother and sister than, unfortunately, him and his sister were. And unfortunately, she's gone now too. So it's dynamics, y'all. You can find common grounds. I have a cousin that was like that. There's some things that he probably shouldn't have made me a part of, but you know what? We were young and he didn't know that. He was just trying to do the best for me that he could because my mother and father were divorced. And when they first got divorced, we went and lived with my uncle and them. Okay. They helped us out of that mess. So that bonded us even closer. I was only 4 years old. It's amazing what family can do and how dynamics change so much. Nobody would have ever said anything about him and me. He said, one time he said something about, somebody mentioned kissing cousins. Okay. First off, that everybody, you say that and people get the wrong idea. Okay. That's not what that is. Okay. Give me a break. What we were was so close that we were brother and sister instead of cousins. Okay, that's how much we were around each other. We grew up that way. You got to think about the dynamics that have changed between then and now. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, okay. Here we go. When I was annoying toddler, he always made time for me. Even if it was just playing a video game and reading my favorite flavor text. Okay. He got a novel or something based on Mortal Kombat and educated me on every fighter and told me the red stuff that came out of them was raspberry jelly. And if I kept eating PB&J sandwiches, I'd start bleeding blackberry jelly. No, I didn't find this scary. He never let me be scared. He even showed me my first horror movies. And when I got scared, soothed me with Jason wouldn't hurt you. He only kills bad teenagers who don't pay attention to the campers. There you go. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm a little biased on that one. I would never have set down a kid, but I knew better. He didn't. So let's not judge. So you're little, so he's probably helping you make a lanyard or something, right? No. Now it's almost overcorrecting with warmth and humor, tiny rituals, okay? Inside jokes, caretaking wrapped in play. The tone is doing a lot of work here, trying to drown out suspicion with detail. What's interesting is how storytelling itself becomes a shield once people feel a whole category of relationships is being questioned, you know? So I'm y'all can disagree with me if you want to, but I'm gonna say honey for affectionate anecdotes and protective framing, narrative buffering, okay? Because that was awkward, but still what this person probably needed to hear, okay? Because the dynamic, okay, I can't get over this. I just can't get over this. Things have changed so much from the time that this person wrote, or this person was a child in this comment, to now, because these things people would frown upon, but they're still not seeing the real picture. That's the problem. And now everything about this, back then they probably would have prosecuted the cousin. Y'all got to ease up because it's not all that. It's just not. So, okay, let's go back. We have just a couple more. I think this one. I was his favorite human, and he was mine. That's beautiful. I like that. There's more, honey. We're grown now. He's a foster dad. Oh, I remember now. Okay, you're going to love this. Y'all are going to love this. He's a foster dad who is the go-to guy when his local child services has an addict baby. I'm going to cry. He says it's my fault because I was a colicky baby and I desensitized him to baby screams, so he stays cool and calm while the poor little guys detox. Wow. He's an amazing dad. 3 of his foster babies are now legally one of us. One of us. Ah, tell me that didn't just make you feel good. Seriously. Seriously, this wraps the whole memory into a redemption arc, right? Childhood closeness turning into adult caregiving and professional trust. It's meant to land as proof that early tenderness can grow into healthy, protective adulthood. The emotional weight of that outcome makes it powerful and harder for critics to argue against in the moment. Okay. Honey, baby, honey, honey, honey for you. Lots of honey for you. You get lots of honey. You get honey. You get honey. There is a little bit more, just a tad. All right. I might be biased, but I think there's something special about a surly teenager and the baby that idolizes them. Yeah. I've been the baby and I've been the surly teenager. Both are super fun. There you go. That last line zooms out into archetype, right? Turning a personal story into a familiar family trope. It softens the debate by making the bond feel universal instead of suspect. Guys, look before you leap. What this quietly does is moves the conversation from fear back towards, I don't know, ordinary human patterns, right? Honey, honey. It's beautiful to me, and I can't frame it any other way. I think that was amazing, and Thank you for writing in and telling this person that, even though you might have overreacted a little bit, or maybe you should have told him sooner. Here's the thing. Don't react. That's what I say all the time. You need to give yourself some grace. Don't react. It's only going to make it worse. If you feel like you're about to explode, you need to walk away. You don't need to make a scene. It's not going to help your case. It's not going to help your emotional state. And honestly, this letter would have been a lot shorter had you just walked away. All right, let's bring this one home, because you know what? Freak Out Friday stories are going to leave us sitting in that uncomfortable space between loyalty and escalation. It's between protecting your people and wishing you'd chosen a softer exit. Today wasn't about dunking on anybody. It was about watching how fast a situation can flip once certain words enter the room, how group chats turn into echo chambers, and definitely how fear, certainty, and pride all start pulling in different directions at the same time. That's why I love doing these AITA breakdowns with y'all, because you don't just watch, you participate. You clock the shifts, you call honey when something feels human and understandable, and you throw the stinger when somebody lights a match in a dry room. Pardon me. That back and forth in the comments. Pardon me. It makes this show work for me. It makes it exciting for me. So if you were typing today, if you were thinking it, even if you didn't hit send, thank you for being here with me at noon Central. Now, don't go anywhere just yet, because right before I sign off, I've got two quick things I want you to stick around for. First, you're going to see a brand new promo for Tuber Chat. Yes, I showed it yesterday, but we're showing it again today, and I want you to know it's new and it's improved. And I love you guys. And if you're a creator, a streamer, or somebody trying to grow a channel without losing your mind, this one's for you. You need to go see Tuber Chat. They're amazing. And right after that, you'll also catch, well, VB's going to do it all, but VB's going to bring BBTV promo to you. So hang tight. Let these roll and check them out before you click away, please. Freak Out Friday. It's been amazing. Make sure you're subscribed, please. Don't forget. Okay? Because you love me, right? Hit that like button. Okay? So Bertha, the algorithm, knows we were here working, and come back tomorrow. It's Jukebox Journey for tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central. If I have power. Just kidding. I'll be here, I'm sure. I have 5G internet from T-Mobile, and it has been a blessing. Okay. So y'all get a hold of the Tuber Chat. Get over there. I'm not playing. You'll love them. They're awesome. And I have a feeling this is only going to get better from here. Okay. I'll see you in the next one. Stay right here for the promos. Love you guys. Bye.
I want to take a minute to shout out Tuber Chat. If you're a creator who's tired of surface level advice, and actually wants to understand how YouTube works, that's the space. It's real conversations with real creators who are in the trenches, building channels, testing ideas. No posturing, no gatekeeping, no fake guru energy, just people sharing what's working, what isn't, and why.
If you're serious about growing, learning, and not doing this alone, check out Tuber Chat. The link is in the description. If you're enjoying this show, subscribing is the easiest way to support what's being built here on BBTV. You'll see the join button right next to subscribe. No pressure, no expectations, just an option for people who want to support the channel in a real way. We're live weekdays at 12 p.m. Central, and each day has its own focus. Same honesty, same voice, just different conversations depending on the day. And if you've got a story you want to share, send it in. Anonymous is always fine.
Boss be rising.